Going to Graceland.
Through a classified ad in the magazine. Later on Nightline.
The new comedy Switching Channels at 11.
And became a bestseller. The author was John F. Kennedy.
Details in just about 1/2 hour.
Enjoy tonight's movie on 29. Friday at 8, Art Garfunkel and Jack Nicholson search for satisfaction in carnal knowledge. Now, stay tuned for the 10 o'clock news coming up next on TV 29.
The mid-40s on Sunday, correct?
A French commuter plane crashed today on automatic rifles and machine guns on villagers attending a religious festival. At least 32 people were killed and more than 40 wounded. It was one of the most violent attacks since Sikhs began their guerrilla war for a separate state in 1982. The U.S. financial squeeze on General Noriega in Panama is having an immediate effect on the people there. Bank withdrawals are limited. Workers today might not get their paychecks. John Quinones reports fears of a total financial collapse prompted the opposition to call off a general strike, also aimed at ousting Noriega. Liberal Democrats and conservative Republicans narrowly defeated a Democratic plan to provide non-military aid to the Nicaraguan rebels. Democrats, who didn't want to send the Contras any aid at all, joined forces with Republicans who hope now to approve a package with military aid, which they and President Reagan will like better. Meanwhile, Contra leader Adolfo Calero says the rebels' fight will go on. Not impossible for any future Contra aid package to get through Congress. The magazine Soldier of Fortune has been ordered by a jury. Soldier of Fortune plans to appeal. Finally, it is, as I'm sure you know, pothole season. Major holes have opened everywhere over the winter. But Spencer,
And you call that a pothole?
Time once again for a look at this Friday's weather. We'll start with the projected high temperature range, and once again, as it has been for about 2 weeks now, the weather is very mild out west, highs over the Rockies, 50s, and conditions in the north central states. Out west, we have a wave of moisture, another one coming off the North Pacific, bringing some drought relief to that corner of the nation, and there are several other waves of moisture yet to come. But the real wet weather is here in the east. Heavy rainfall.
In your movie, And God Created Woman, you play a mean guitar. Now, was that you or was that somebody?
In the movie. A business would have to kind of acknowledge both governments, wouldn't they? You have to pay Noriega, or they're going to come down on you for the debt, and then the value doesn't recognize it.
Cares about the napkins, will you?
I care.
Felix, the guys are coming to play poker. They can wipe their mouths on the money, will you? Let me tell you
Put your coat on the icebox? You put your hat in the bread box?
Felix, I don't want to discuss my wardrobe. I want to talk about girls.
Will you take your coat off the icebox?
You know those two sexy English girls that live upstairs? You know, the doves.
The pigeons.
Pigeons. What are you?
Good morning, Vietnam!
Rated R. Finally, it's the comedy smash you'll want to see again and again.
I've seen it 3 times.
It is one great movie.
3 Men and a Baby, rated PG. Shoot to Kill, Good Morning Vietnam, 3 Men and a Baby. 3 great hits now playing separately at theaters everywhere.
The $7 million a month that ships pay to use.
A Redenbacher. I've got it.
Go on, guy.
The snack idea of the century. Take America's favorite microwave.
After prayers at local mosques. One reason why these areas are off limits for the press today.
Yet from both sides, as we've heard, George Bush has the Republican governor on his side. Some are even talking about Governor Campbell as a
noose of dollars around the neck of General Noriega. In Panama, these are called Balboas, but they're really U.S. dollars, and they are General Noriega's weak spot. Since they come out of the U.S. Treasury, he can't print more of them to keep Panama going.
If
17 Panamanian banks were shut down today. Thousands of customers were left stunned and angry. I can't cash my check, this man told us. I can't feed my family. I can't do anything. The official government closings followed.
He's today indicated they'll support his government. Nearly half the traffic in the canal is either going to or from Japan.
Not be threatened unless the cash shortage affects the payroll of Panama's military, Noriega's base of power. John Quinones, ABC News, Panama City.
In the South Carolina primary, which is tomorrow. There's a lot more at stake than 37 Republican delegates in South Carolina. South Carolina, after all, is the curtain raiser to the South.
Probably not coming. Looks like the game's off.
Are you crazy? What difference does it make how many guys we got?
How many want shredded coconut on their omaki?
I came to play poker. He's having a luau.
This is my store. And for years, my store was at the
Northwest Airlines for 139 different safety violations during a month-long period earlier this year.
Gephardt very critically. His tough trade talk is striking a chord.
The beautiful savings you've been waiting for, now at Color Tiles.
Hospitals and an A in math, concerts, studios, and go take your bath, young lady.
Anti-dramatically when he declared South Carolina a must-win state.
If I lose this one, I'm in trouble out of the Super Tuesday. So.
But now Robertson, on a bus blitz of the state, is trying to lower expectations.
I'd like to see a win, but I'm realistic enough to know right now that second place is where it looks like.
Third place is where it looks in the polls behind Bush and Dole, but the guessing is...
Gravy.
The peas are the best. They're so crispy.
The turkey is always very moist.
I'm talking only about swamp.
His Texas supporter, Agriculture Commissioner Jim Hightower. The Jackson message to those less fortunate than most sells well here.
I'm for him, 100%.
Patricio Rodriguez is 87 years old. He lives in low-income housing in San Antonio. Rodriguez is drawn to communities like...
Our profile of a presidential candidate tonight is of the Democrat from Massachusetts, Governor Michael Dukakis. Here's ABC's Joe Bergantino.
That whenever you have the light or the camera in your back...
Oh, one more time! I got it! Fever!
Ain't got nothing to do. No, ain't got nowhere to be. Ain't got no...
With conditioners is smart. Mascara that makes lashes the thickest is beautiful. Maybelline.
Friday, I'm putting more emphasis on my life. Today's schedule, think of all the TV shows that are named for cities I've actually been to. Vegas, Hollywood Squares, LA Law, Not Miami Vice, the Bronx Zoo, Naked City.
Spray tastes so good, so fresh and clean. It's our cranberries.
The question really comes down to this. Does the fact that a candidate is or has been a minister prevent him from serving his country? I believe the fair answer is no.
Robertson has been building cars in Kenosha for 86 years. But soon, the big old auto plant on the lakefront will close. Chrysler is leaving town. So are 5,500 jobs.
Hey, Fonzie. You give me a hand here? I don't know how to break this to you, Dad, but the last wave left about an hour ago. Just give me a hand, will you? I can't believe people actually...
Leaving his body in the snow. A week later, he returned to show the body to his two friends. Afterward, they went to a nearby mall for pizza. 2 weeks later, one of the boys who had viewed the body sent an anonymous tip to police, and Matthews was arrested. The defense does not deny Matthews killed Sean Willett, but argues that he is mentally ill. In court, defense attorney John White read from an unsigned letter that Matthews wrote to a teacher before the Willett slaying.
Lately, I've been wanting to kill people.
In court, Jean Quinn, mother of the dead boy, sits behind Matthews.
I can't feel.
Indictments have been handed down against 3 white lawmen accused of beating a black prisoner to death in a jail cell in Hemp Hill, Texas. Last December, the 3 lawmen, including the police chief, had been indicted on civil rights charges. When we come back,
a lot of the guys come from Brooklyn, which is like bounded by the East River in New York, and then another guy comes